All right, let's jack in. Most people see charts and numbers, right? I see code. And today, well, the code is glitching. Big time. We're diving deep into AMC, and we're asking one simple question. Is the price you see on your screen real, or is it just a projection? A little something designed to keep you asleep. Okay, let's get into it. First up, the official story. A nasty 25.86% drop since September 30th. They want this number to hit you right in the gut. They want you to feel that little jolt of panic, to start second-guessing yourself, and to get that itchy finger right over the sell button. This is the narrative the suits are pushing. But you gotta remember this. A number without context, that's not a fact, it's a weapon.
And here it is, the script they're all reading from. This is that official narrative you hear echoed in every forum. Massive debt, billions in negative profits. They're basically calling it a zombie stock and, calling you a fool for holding on. It sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Of course it does. It's designed to. And that's the whole point.
But hold on. What if that perfectly crafted, super reasonable sounding story is just another layer of code in the simulation? What if all that red you're seeing on your screen isn't blood in the water, but a very, very carefully placed distraction? We're going looking for the glitches, the little anomalies the architects of this whole system are praying you'll never ever see.
So, the first glitch? It's hidden in the supply chain. See, the code says there's a certain number of shares that are supposed to exist. But the data? Oh, the data tells a completely different story. Let's talk about phantom shares.
So this is where it gets interesting. But the concept is actually super simple. Fails to deliver, or FTDs. It's when someone sells you a share they don't actually have and then they just kind of don't deliver it. They hand you an IOU instead. Seriously, imagine going to the store, you buy a banana, you pay for it, and the clerk just says, I'll get it to you later. You've got a receipt, but you have no banana. Now just imagine that happening millions of times a day.
And look, this isn't some hypothetical theory. For AMC, just in the month of October, there was an average of almost 48,000 fails to deliver every single day. That's 48,000 phantom bananas a day. That's not a rounding error, people. That's a feature of the system, a glitch you are absolutely not supposed to notice.
And this really shows you AMC isn't alone in this little phantom zone. Take a look at GameStop, over 109,000 FTDs a day in that same period. Now, when you see the exact same glitch popping up across multiple so-called meme stocks, you have to stop asking if it's an accident and start asking if it's a tool. A tool to create artificial supply just to hammer down the price you see on the screen.
Now, you can't just suppress a stock with phantom shares out in the open. I mean, that would be way too obvious. You need cover. You need a bit of chaos. So the second glitch isn't just in AMC's code, it's in the entire market's operating system. The whole damn thing is flashing red alerts.
This number here, 1.13, that's the S&P 500's put-to-call ratio. Just think of it as the market's fear gauge. And right now, it's deep in bear territory. In simple terms, for every bet that the market is going to go up, there are even more bets that it's all about to crash. This widespread fear, well, it creates the perfect camouflage for, let's call it, unusual activity in specific stocks. And this right here, this is what that fear looks like. This is a live feed from the options flow. I mean, just look at the sheer volume of red on that screen. Those are puts, millions and millions of dollars being bet on a market collapse. The suits aren't just scared, they are actively positioning themselves for a fire sale.
And where do you hide your money when you don't even trust the system that you helped create? Well, you stick it under the Fed's mattress. This is the overnight reverse repo market, with over $1.1 trillion in cash, with a T, that huge institutions are too scared to actually invest. They'd rather park it with the Fed overnight for basically nothing. When the big players are this spooked, it tells you one thing. They know the game is rigged.
Okay, so you've got phantom shares creating fake supply. You've got a market-wide panic providing the perfect cover story. But there's one more piece, and it's maybe the most important one. The glitch that operates not on the ticker, but inside your own head. The psychological operation, the info war.
Have you ever been in a Reddit thread or a forum talking about a stock you believe in, and you just feel like you're going insane? Like no matter how much data you show, you're just shouted down by all this negativity and doubt. Is that just, organic disagreement, or is it a coordinated campaign?
And then this dropped. This is from a confession posted on a trading forum. A user coming clean. I just want you to read that first line again. I've been a paid basher. There's no ambiguity there. No hedging. This isn't speculation anymore. It's a direct report from somebody inside the machine.
And here's the why. Plain and simple. It's not about fundamentals. It's about manufacturing fear so that you sell your shares cheap, so that their wealthy clients can scoop them all up before the real move happens. Let me say that again. Your panic is their profit. It's their buy signal.
This is the key tactic. See, they don't just scream and yell the stock sucks. That's for amateurs. The pros, the ones he calls serpents, they slide into conversations with what sounds like legitimate, reasonable concern. They sow seeds of doubt. They ask those leading questions. They make you question your own research, your own conviction. They turn the community against itself from the inside out.
And yeah, it is organized. This is not some random collection of trolls in their basements. It's a three-tiered system. You got the architects at the top creating the fake, sophisticated analysis. You got the serpents, like our confessor, whispering that poison into the threads. And then you have the disruptors, who just create noise and chaos to drown out any real, productive discussion. This is a professional information warfare campaign.
Okay, so we've seen the glitches. We have phantom shares. We have market-wide fear. And we have a confirmed psychological warfare campaign. Now it's time to put all the pieces together, let's synthesize the data, and build the counter-narrative, the ape theory.
The core thesis is this, and it's dead simple. The price you see on the screen is not the reality of the asset. It is a manufactured number. The ticker is a lie, period.
So let's connect the dots. Glitch 1, that fails to deliver, creates this massive artificial supply, which means your buying pressure might not even be hitting the tape. Glitch 2, that pervasive market fear, creates the perfect storm, the camouflage, right? A stock dropping hard doesn't look weird when everything is dropping. And then glitch 3, the info war, makes sure that anyone who points out the first two glitches is silenced, ridiculed, and demoralized until they sell. And what's the result of these three forces working together? A price that is held down by an invisible, coordinated weight.
So, where does all this leave us? We've looked at the official story, and we've analyzed the glitches in the code. Now, it's time for the verdict.
Now, of course, the obligatory guardrail. None of this is financial advice, okay? This is educational banter, this is pattern recognition, this is about connecting data points that other people want you to ignore. The market is a high-stakes casino, and all we're doing is counting the cards. We don't claim to know the future, we're just analyzing the probabilities based on the glitches we see in the game.
And really, in the end, it all comes down to this one simple question. Who are you going to believe? The architects of the system who tell you everything is fine, the stock is worthless, or the thousands of digital detectives, the apes, who are pointing to all the anomalies in the code and screaming that the game is rigged? The choice is yours.
We are watching this chart like a hawk. While you wait for the next candle, go ahead and grab your free gear. Sign up for Public to get $20 in free assets. Check Webull for that BTC promo, or grab your NVDA stock on Moomoo. All the links are down in the description. Smash the like, subscribe to the tribe, Apes Together Strong.